Hello. Hey, you guys. Hi. Hey. Come on in and join me, will you? Pull up a chair. So pumped you're here. Let's dive in and start looking at what's up. I talk to you guys all the time. I'm talking to people about their goals. I'm teaching them about all of the things. The only thing stopping you from getting anything that you want is you. I know, kind of a rude awakening. I know that was a huge, wake up call. The only thing stopping you is you. The only limits that are being set are the ones set by you. That's it. That's all. So really look at the importance of taking action, because not taking action is not an option. Okay? If you desire to do something and aren't doing it, you need to not you have to, you get to, it was brought to your awareness for a reason. And you now get to take a step back and go, why do I keep not doing what I want to do? Really start asking yourself that. What is stopping you? And if you are getting really honest with yourself, it's fear. Fear is stopping you. Fear of rejection, fear of what if I lose, fear of what other people say. And this is all just because you're in the habit of making decisions based on fear. And you might say, no, I'm not. There's lots of times where I say, oh, I want to go on the trip. And then I go and I book the trip. Right. But I also can guarantee when you're booking the trip, you're not booking the trip you necessarily want to take. You're booking the one that's the best price, or you got a good deal. No. There were times when I wanted this job and it was going to pay me less money and I took it anyways. Well, it's because it was going to give you something else that you thought. Maybe you had fear of missing out with your kids. So you took the job that had different hours, but a different pay. Either way, if you're in the habit of sacrificing, how you do one thing is how you do all things, and it'll show up. And there's nothing wrong with it. I can tell you 95% of humanity is programmed this way. Programmed. Like a robot. Programmed. Okay? We are hardwired to act, to grow, to achieve. Okay? It's in our DNA. Our DNA, as in the moment the sperm hit the egg and your being was created in its physical form, you had no control over that. Despite what your parents think, they didn't have any control over it either, because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Go down trying. A for effort. Okay, see, that's when you were initially created. Then 9 months later, however long your mom carried you, you came out. And then it really started. Think about it. From the moment you took your first breath of life, life filled your lungs. And you sprang into action. This little baby who we think is so helpless was like, I got this. Think about it. The first thing you did was you were like, I gotta eat. And then you were fed. And then you were satisfied. And you went and had a nap. You fell asleep. And you slept a lot because that's what you were aware of how to do. But then something kicks in. I want more. I want more. So that's why if you've ever had a baby or been exposed to a baby before, you know we feed them, they sleep. We feed them, they sleep. And they just know from the moment they're born, just like you did, from the moment you were born, you knew you were meant for more. You were built to spring into action. You're designed for it. And as a baby, we move from just wanting to eat and sleep to getting bigger goals, to do different things. We learn to sit up. We learn to crawl. Then we'll start to walk. Then we'll start to run. Then we'll start to talk. Then we'll, right? Like hop on a bike. Then we'll be riding on the handlebars. And we keep doing it. And we're so satisfied with our growth. I don't remember taking my first steps, but I remember when I learned how to ride a bike. I remember learning how to tie my shoes. Right? So much pride and joy that came from doing these things for the first time. And I mean, I have 2 kids. I remember their first steps or their first words. The first time they like saw me and like said my name. Oh my gosh. It's so incredible. And then as parents, we encourage them, do more of that, do more, do more, do more. Until we stop. We start to say, be careful. Be careful. Pay attention to what you're doing. And we start pushing our beliefs based on our experiences onto them. Remember when you fell off your bike? "Oh, I don't want my kids to feel that pain. That hurt. Skinned my knee. I still got the scar." Be careful. Remember when you dated that guy? He broke your heart. You don't want your kids to feel that pain. Be careful. Remember when you had a story in your head about money because you grew up in poverty? So you want your kids to understand, guys, money doesn't grow on trees. So that's what you taught them. And again, it's not right or wrong, it just is. Trust me, even in all my awareness, I can guarantee there's things that I'm teaching my kids that it's just me projecting my paradigms onto them. Guaranteed. Good thing I know how to reprogram. Work on that one after. Cross that bridge when I come to it. Guys, the fact is we are meant for more. We are meant to want to grow. We are meant to expand. We are meant to express. Even as a super smart, educated, well-rounded adult, you're still meant to do that. Just because you finished your 4-year degree doesn't mean that you're not meant to stop growing, that you're meant to stop learning. We were actually talking about in our study club this morning, one of the people in our coaching program that she's kind of like just getting started, and she was like, oh my gosh, like I'm figuring out all of these things, like when does this list of me needing to shift these behaviors, when does the list stop? And I had to say to her, it doesn't. It doesn't. I have been studying myself and this work and like how I fit into the universe so that I can grow and express myself on purpose and support people. I've been doing it for years now. And I said, I noticed something about myself the other day that made me go, Delyn, this behavior's got you to this point, but it's not going to get you to where you want to go. We got to get it out of here. And I said, that was just the other day. And she said to me, well, why didn't that come up for you years ago? So you could have just got rid of it. But it was just like, it wasn't even on my radar based on my level of awareness then. Well, now I'm aware now, but because I'm not as aware as I'm going to be next week or next year or 10 years from now, all that stuff will pop up when it's meant to. And I'll deal with it then. The fact is, though, that we are designed to take action. We are not designed to settle. We are not designed to like sit and like do the same thing necessarily for 30 plus years, even if it's not on purpose. Okay? The satisfaction that you feel even right now, you might be going, yeah, Delyn, I don't know. I'm pretty much living on purpose. Like I know I'm meant to be a teacher, be a nurse, be a coach, grow my business. Like I know I'm meant to do this. Awesome. We need those people. We need teachers. We need nurses. We need people that want to be self-employed. We need these people. Everybody has a spot for it. But the thing is that, and we all know them, and you might be them, you got into teaching or nursing or whatever because that's what your mom did, or that's what your aunt did, or that's what your grandma did, and it looked like a pretty good gig. Well, now you're going, oh man, like teaching's not what I thought it was going to be, or nursing isn't what I thought it was going to be. Owning my own business isn't what I thought it was going to be. Even if it's not what you thought it was going to be, as long as you keep taking action and growing out your desire, it will become what you want it to be. As long as it's your purpose, you'll have the drive to do it. You won't ever give up on it. But what's going to happen is just like from, I don't get all pumped up every time I tie my shoes now. I don't do it. Okay. I like when I go for a bike ride with my kids and I hop on my bike and I start pedaling, I'm not like, wow, I rock. I'm a rock star. Right. Eventually your satisfaction wears off. And then dissatisfaction sets in. Right? You wanted to put words and steps together. So you did. And now you know how to do that and you move on. Right? But you keep wanting to accomplish more and greater things. That is natural. So as an adult, for you to pretend that you don't want more, like when I talk to people and they're like, what? I'm going to retire in 6 years and then I'm going to like go and travel. Okay, that's awesome. And what are you going to do while you're doing that? Because you can travel and live out your purpose of whatever is in you to give. Right? Sometimes your wiring gets short-circuited and we become complacent. You might think you should be satisfied with what you have or be so afraid of losing what you already have that you aren't willing to take chances. You aren't willing to go from a walk to a run. You aren't willing to hop on your sister's handlebars. Okay? You aren't willing to be, do, and have more. The fact is that's how you're programmed. That's like from the moment the sperm hit the egg, that's what you're designed to do. Period. Done. During those times, we lose motivation and the joy of growing. Is anybody resonating with this? Have you lost your luster for growth? How many people do you know that maybe they've been in their job 5, 10, 15 years? So not the full 30 that you're supposed to do. No, my sarcasm in that one. But you feel stuck, just completely stuck. You get your 2% raise, you've got your pension, you've got your benefits. Maybe you start applying to different jobs. See what else is out there, something that'll bring you some excitement. You're just not feeling it in the work that you're in right now. But you have a family, you've got bills to pay. Until you think to yourself, my only option is to keep working 8, 10, 12 hours a day. Even if what you're doing in that work is just sucking the life out of you, and the people that you're doing it for, you're taking it out on, whether you know it or not. Where you just even almost hate to go to bed every night because you know you got to get up the next morning and do it all over again. You just feel like you're spinning your wheels. And before you know it, other aspects of your life start to kind of spiral down. Shows up in your health, your marriage, your bank account, your whatever, your other relationships. You're starting to get sick all the time. Seems like nothing else matters until you have enough. I love that point, and that's where I've made it my life's work, where that's where I come in. When you just have no idea where to go. You know you might want to do this, but you also know that you're getting in your own way. Things get to turn around. Things get to, and they're meant to. Everything, if you're feeling what I just described, it is meant to happen for you until you say enough, until you make a decision about your life and realize that you have more control than you realize about your life. And I promise you, once you make that decision and you get put on the right path, just set in the direction that you're supposed to be going, things pick up again. Your relationships get strong again. Your health gets better. Your bank account increases. Whatever it is you're looking for, you have balance in your life. And even if you don't feel that level of hopelessness or like you're trapped in this, dead end job, maybe you feel out of touch with other pieces of your life. You get to decide where you want to go. And once you go there, you can start to take action. When you're feeling discouraged, when this happens, we stop doing what's natural for us. What we started doing the moment we were born. We stop wanting to be, do, and have more. We stop taking action. We think it's just easier because that's what, that's what everybody else is doing, just like getting up, going to work, doing their thing, coming home, going to bed, waking up, doing all over again. That's what everybody else is doing. So I guess that's what I'm supposed to be doing. We just assume that that's what's up. However, when we realize that this discouragement, it's also a form of self-pity. This is when you can also begin to just take stock in yourself and decide to take action, to do something that will take you out of how you're feeling. Okay, so if you are feeling discouraged, it's not enough just to read a book or listen to me or pump yourself up through outside circumstances. It's about getting to the root. The habit you're in right now of getting stuck and then getting in your own way, you had no choice when the sperm met the egg. You didn't. You had no choice when you were first born. Your instincts took over. You ate, you slept, you ate, you slept. But we don't control who our parents are. We don't control who our teachers are. We don't control who our grandparents are, whoever helped you form how you view the world. You didn't control that. But as an adult now, I would even say once you hit about 16, that becomes the time when your parents even are not responsible to you or for you, they're responsible to you. There's a difference. Like I'm responsible to and for my kids. Right now, they're 7 and 9. They need me to help them stay alive. But within the next handful of years, my oldest is going to be making her own decisions. She'll be getting her driver's license. And I'm going to be responsible to her. Like, I got your back. But she's making her choices. That's when it becomes her control over her life. As an adult, I mean, I wish I started studying this stuff at 16. I didn't. But everything that happened for me in the 20 years before I did start studying it happened for me. I needed it to happen. The good, the bad, and the ugly. The whole soap opera needed to unfold for me to start studying. Okay. The answer, if you were feeling stuck, if you were feeling discouraged, is to take action. Get rid of the discouragement and doubt before it gets rid of you. And and all it is you just deciding that you're ready for something different. But it's not enough just to pick up a book and be like, oh, that was really nice. Or say, oh, I'll start that on Monday. Monday comes, you don't start it. Or you start it Monday and you're done by Wednesday. Or you start it January 1st and you're done by, I think National Quitting Day is like January 23rd or something like that. Most people don't make it to February when they set a New Year's resolution. And that's okay. It's not right or wrong. It's not good or bad, but recognize it in yourself because it's not the only thing you're quitting on. You're quitting in a ton of areas of your life because the getting started part is where you get stuck. So get someone to help you. Get someone to help you get started so that you're not getting stuck anymore. Because once you get put in the right direction and you're used to taking action again, just like when you were a baby, You were used to taking action. Every day you tried to walk. Every day you tried to talk. Every day you got back on that bike and tried again. You took action all the time until you stopped. Because of one time that you took action and you got hurt. Or someone told you not to. And you didn't like that they didn't like you for it. Just because at some point you didn't get up when you got knocked down, the only way to get unstuck from where you are right now is to just get back up, decide where you are going, and every day take action towards it. Because not taking action is not an option. It is mandatory. Absolutely mandatory. I know the feeling of not taking action. It doesn't feel great. When you know you're supposed to be doing something and then you kind of beat yourself up for not doing it, that doesn't have to be your truth. You've taken action in the past, totally knocked something out of the park, and rocked it. Borrow that belief from when you've already done it. Get back on the bike and do it again. Stop taking action on things that aren't going to get you where you want to go. I'm a list maker. If you're watching this, you're probably a list maker too. I attracted you in for a reason. I used to make lists for my lists. But making a list of a bunch of stuff that's not going to get me to where I want to go, not really that helpful. Right? So I would, Dave and I would meet up at the end of the day. He'd be like, "Oh, what'd you do today?" And I'd be like, "I don't even know. I was like so busy." Or like you see someone that you haven't seen for like 5 years and they're like, "Tell me what's new." And you're like, "I don't know. I'm so busy. I'm so crazy. It's nuts. Life's just crazy." If you can't tell me what you do in a day and where you're going, that tells me that you're really good at making lists of make work projects. I had to get the laundry done. I had to get the groceries. I had to get the this. And then I woke up and I did it the next day. And then I had to work. And then I had to do this. Guys, your life isn't meant for you to just, I had to do this. You get to. That's why you're here. You get to live your life. Decide what you want it to look like and then only take action towards those things. And you know what? It makes decision making that much easier. Someone asked me to do something now, and I used to be a yes man, okay? Like in a big way because I had FOMO and like didn't want to miss out on anything, and I didn't want to disappoint any, and I wanted everybody to like me all the time. So, anyways, yes to everything, right? Even if it didn't even line up, like I would drive myself crazy and like make my schedule pack just to make everybody else happy. So if you do that, stop doing that. It's not serving you, and it feels so much better when you don't. Anyways, I digress. When you know where you're going, someone asks you to do something, it's so clear. You either go, does this